everyone, Jason Katzenbach here, and I'm with a special guest, Ann Ferris, who is actually an ASM student and a very successful one recently, just in the last year. So Ann, if you could, we'd love to hear your story, and obviously, you've had some great success recently with our program, and before that, however, you were living a very different life. Could you maybe explain what you were doing before you started selling on Amazon?
Yes. Well, in my previous life, as I like to say now, I was living in London and working for a huge law firm as an international project finance attorney. And it was exciting at times, but it really was 18, 20 hours a day in the office, 7 days a week. And I was really struggling with stress and anxiety and seeing friends of mine who were missing time with their families, and I knew I wanted to start a family at some point. So I went to Costa Rica on vacation, fell in love, and ended up buying a small surf hostel in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. And the surf hostel was loads of fun. It was a great experience and a big change from my life before, but soon after that I met my partner, Elias, and we started a family. And the tourist business was great and fun, but it wasn't really enough to support a family of 4. And we were struggling a bit financially through the low season when I was 6 months pregnant with my daughter Nala, my second baby, and I knew I needed to do something else. And I found out a friend of mine who I knew was very successful financially sold on Amazon, and he had taken the ASM course. And it was, for me, it was just a light went off when I heard him say that. I just knew this is what I'm going to do. If he can do this, I can do this, and I'm just going to make it work. And I kind of didn't even think about it that much. I did have to ask my mom for a bit of a loan for the course and the inventory, but she agreed after a little bit of convincing. And being pregnant with my second baby, I just had this really strong desire to be able to provide for my family. And I really made a firm commitment with myself that this was going to work no matter what. I had no idea how. I really had no idea how to use, barely using the internet, and definitely nothing with technology, but I just made that commitment. I'm going to do this course and I'm going to follow it to the letter and make this work.
Very cool. Now, what kind of results have you been able to achieve? It's a great inspiring story to hear yours, because to see someone that, just dives in and went to work, and the results have been very impressive. If you could share what you've been able to achieve.
It's really amazing to me. I look at my numbers every day and smile, and I call my mom and I share my husband, because I just can't believe where I'm at right now. And when I started the course, I sat down and I wrote my goals in my journal for where I wanted to be and what I thought would be just a great goal of an amount of money for me to have every month that we would be really comfortable with. And I set that goal. I wanted to be doing $50,000 a month in sales by the beginning of 2020. And I hit that goal within 9 months of selling on Amazon, and this past month I did $86,000 in sales.
And what kind of profit margin are you seeing?
I raised my prices a little bit, and I've actually lowered my ad spend recently, so my profit margin after ads and everything is at 39%
Excellent.
Right now.
Wow. So less than a year selling, and you're already past your, what was it, a 3-year goal, 2-year goal?
Yeah.
Of $50,000 a month, and now just recently $86,000, and we're just getting into the Christmas season.
I know, I can't believe it.
Yes, what a great story.
I'm making now more than twice, almost 3 times what I was making as a corporate lawyer at one of the largest firms in the world.
Wow. Wow, that's impressive. Now, it's not like you had an easy go to achieve this either. You were running a business, you're starting a family, and someone that has 2 daughters of his own, I understand when they're young like that, they're busy. How were you able to make it work?
So when I started ASM, I was 6 months pregnant with my second daughter. My son was a year old. So, and I do run my hostel. My partner has his own business. So I was really busy, and I think what made it work for me was just that I really set that firm commitment that I'm going to do this and I'm going to keep going. I made time every day, and I think that's the great thing about this business, especially for families, especially for women with kids, that you need to be at home and you have to work around your kids come first in their schedule. So when my son was at a nap, when he went to the beach with his dad, sometimes I would wake up really early in the morning to be up before them, make my coffee and enjoy that quiet time by myself and really be able to power through. And that's still what I do now. Sometimes I get time in the morning to do it. Sometimes my son wakes up early, so I work a little bit later, but it's great because my family comes first and my work fits into my family schedule instead of the other way around, which is really important for me.
Excellent. Yeah, and I can say a similar story. When I got started, family is always first, and I just had to either wake up early or stay up a little bit later at night. But when you're dedicated like you are, which I think is the real key to this, that being firm on that, this is what I want to do and I'm going to make it work, but keeping your priorities of family first, that's awesome to hear. Congratulations.
Yeah. I was on WhatsApp with my supplier making my first inventory order like 2 days after my baby was born. She was sleeping in the bed next to me and I'm just on my phone, getting it done.
Very cool. Very cool. So to me, obviously, listening to this story, there's been a great change in your life. Like it sounds, you're glowing, you seem so much happier. How has this changed your life? What kind of impact has it made on your everyday? How are things different for you now?
It's had a huge impact on my life, not just my life, the life of my friends and my family, and we've been able to give back to charity. I think, well, first of all, we donate a portion of our profits to Sepia, which is a charity in Guanacaste, which is where I live in Costa Rica, and they help low-income families in the area, and they run a school. And it's a charity that I've been involved with since I moved to Costa Rica, but now I'm actually able to really give large financial help to them, which is important to me. But just every day, I wake up in the morning excited and full of hope. I'm not worried. This time of year is the full low season in Costa Rica, and I would go to the grocery store and I want to buy the $7 jar of peanut butter, but I'm getting, beans and rice instead. And now I'm just full of hope. I'm planning vacations. I want to go visit my friends in London next year and do a road trip with my kids. And it's just, there's not that underlying financial worry. It's exciting. I can't wait to wake up and see where my business has been going, but also plan things with my friends and my family, and we're able to afford help to give us more free time together. And that just in general has been a huge change because I have less stress and less anxiety, and I'm able to be there for my family in a way that I haven't been before.
That's fantastic. What I'm hearing, and I've heard you say it quite a few times, is free. I'm free now. I'm free to do this. And not only are you free to spend more time with your family, are you free to work on a business that you love, but you're free to travel, and you're free now to be able to make an impact on other people's lives, and you're helping those around in your community. You also are obviously an advocate of this business model, and you're helping other people in your community actually get started in this business model too. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. Well, especially where in Costa Rica where I live, it can be very hard to earn a living if you don't own your own business. The wages are pretty low for my friends who work in restaurants or whatever. And if you own your own business, it's an up and down tourist season. So when I started having success with ASM, it was like, wow, this is so amazing. I love this. And I just want all my friends to do it, because also if you're like, wow, what a great day, I made so much money, unless someone else is doing that too, they don't want to hear about it from you. And I just kind of wanted to bring everyone into that circle, and I knew, especially for my friends living in Costa Rica, that it was an amazing way for them to really earn a large income, because that's the great thing too with Amazon, the sky is the limit. And you can really run it from anywhere in the world. I buy my products in Asia, and they're shipped and sold in the USA, and I'm in Costa Rica. I just get my samples, and so I have, I think, 8 or 9 friends in Costa Rica who signed up, also some friends in England and in the US, and even a friend in Hawaii. So we have a cool little crew of people, and everybody's working through the course. Some are just starting to launch their products, and it's awesome because we can share together, and we have meetups and Facebook groups, and it's just really exciting to share that with friends and also family. My family has seen how it's been going, and now my partner Elias has started, my brother-in-law is doing the course, and my sister-in-law.
And that hits on a point. I want to come back to the beginning, because a lot of people, when you're starting a new adventure like this, starting your own business, especially online, there's pessimism, there's negativity. Did you go through any of that?
Yes, for sure. Especially some of my friends who are lawyers. My friends that I worked with at the law firm, I think as lawyers, we're trained to be risk averse. And it's just not an entrepreneurial mindset. You're very successful, very intelligent, very hardworking, but you're used to having that job security and working for someone else. And so my few friends that I told were like, wow, that sounds kind of weird, and nobody thinks that you're really creating a real business. And then after that, I kind of kept it to myself a little bit as I was going, because I didn't want to hear any negativity. And I know from my friend who sells on Amazon, he has a crew of people that he works with. So I knew several successful sellers, and I knew that it was going to turn into something great. And then when I started having success after, significant success after a few months, then I started sharing it with people, and now nobody has anything to say about it, especially my lawyer friends who are working 18-hour days, and I work maybe 2 hours a day. And so now that I've had such great results, my friends from all over the world have been contacting me and wanting to get involved in ASM.
Wow. The one thing that we love about this program is the ability to give people freedom, and freedom from wherever you are in life, wherever you live. And so as you're shared, you have friends all over the world. You live in Costa Rica. It doesn't matter if you live in the United States or countries all over the world, you can make this work. And you've been able to do it not only outside the US, and not only you were very limited on funds, but you did it fast. You did it at a very good pace. And what was the secret? How did you do that? What do you think were the real reasons you were able to achieve success so quickly?
I think, well, first of all, I followed the course pretty much to the letter. I deviated, I made some of my own choices on a few things with regards to the product that I chose, but I have no experience in e-commerce, online marketing, basically anything to do with using a computer. And so I really came into it not thinking that I knew anything about the business, and I just followed exactly what was taught in the lessons. And for me, the way that the lessons were set up, so detailed, step by step, here's your first step, this is what we're teaching you about, now you go and do it, meant that I really did every single action step, because you don't go through and here's all the information of how to set up your whole Amazon business and you watch all of it and then go back to step one and start taking action. Every day you learn something and then you act on it, and that really helped to keep my momentum going forward. And I chose a product that I had some legal things, some warning labels and things that needed to get done, so it took me a little bit longer to make my first inventory order. But during that time, I set up my social media, I wrote all the content for my webpage, I really got all of that together. So by the time that my product arrived, which was the middle of October of last year, I was ready to go. And I didn't get too aggressive with my ads, and I set my price point. On the advice of some friends, I increased my price, and so I got some good sales quickly, because it also was November and then it was Black Friday, so I had those Christmas sales. And for me, because I had my other business, I invested 100%, everything that came back to me in sales, I invested to order more inventory, because my first inventory order was 300 pieces. And that was all the money that I had to order, and I never took any loans for the business or borrowed any money. I started with that inventory order, and my next inventory order was 300 again, and then 600, and now my orders are a few thousand every month. But once I started making good profits and was able to invest those, that allowed me to scale really quickly, and that's been my focus. The other thing that really helped me going through the course was the community, both on the course and Facebook, and the mentor group. because I was pretty clueless, especially with things coming to making your website or doing Facebook ads, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I asked questions all the time in the community, and there were always mentors able to help. And I made some really good friends through the course as well, just because we were in there, we were chatting, then we started private messaging, and I made friends with people who had different skill sets to what I do. So one of my really good ASM friends, is what I call them, he is great at technology, at editing pictures, at Facebook ads, which I'm terrible with. And so we bounce ideas off each other and help each other with what our strong suit is.
So I think it's fair to say, so first of all, you followed the system. You took action every day. So if you were waiting for your inventory, you were doing everything else you could until that point. And you got involved in the community, you asked questions, you asked for help. But something else you did, which is very obvious, is you also offered advice. That where you went in and not only did you want to get questions answered, but you were able to help other people along with their business, which is really cool. And you invested totally back in your business. I'd say that's fair to say. Yeah. So that's awesome results. And so what I'd love to hear from you now is if you're sitting across, I guess, how could I say this? Sitting across the table from someone right now that's asking, should I join this program and why? What would you say to them?
I would say, yes, you should. I think it's one of those things you should listen to your gut. And if you feel like it's the right thing for you, then it is. You have to make the decision if you're gonna do this course to say, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow through and I'm gonna build my own business, because that's what this course teaches you. It's not about learning to sell on Amazon. You're creating your own business, your own company, your own products that is a real tangible asset. And that takes time and work, and it is incredibly fun and challenging both at the same time along the way. But I say make the commitment, go for it, and really believe in yourself that you can do this, that this is an amazing business model. And if you put your heart and your soul and your mind into it, you are going to be successful.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Anne. I appreciate your time, and awesome.
Thanks, Jason.